Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and infinite praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double understand elders and the apostles, great millstone. Peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect. I'm out here again on the highways and the byways, prophesying against this wicked ass kingdom who, the world, calls America, spiritually known as Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt, right? But I'm going to be bringing out, various topics, getting into Yahweh's description, getting back to what he's coming to do, getting into how, America's going to be destroyed, all that, the future of the heathen nations. Let me get into all that. All right. Still recording. All right, Shalaki. My fault. All right, but the first scripture we're going to get into is Revelation chapter 1, and I started 1, because a lot of people still think that Yahweh Shai is a so-called white man with blonde stringy hair with pale red skin. You know what I'm saying? That he's like an effeminate spirit, A lot of people think that he's really like that, but he's not. And so we're going to bring that out because a lot of, these Christian churches don't, bring out this scripture, to tell people that Yahweh Shai was really a dark-skinned man, a so-called Negro. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring the scripture out, though. I'm going to read Revelation chapter 1. I'm going to jump to 13. There's Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelations of Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, which Yahweh gave to him to show his servants things which must surely take place. And he sent and signified it by his angel to his servant John, right? And the word revelation, if you know, means to reveal, right? So this is the revealing of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? Our big bro, right? We're going to jump to verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 lampstands, one like the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the feet and girded about the chest with a golden band, right? So when John the Revelator seen Yahweh Shai, he seen that he had a garment clothed down to the foot, all the way to the foot, and he seen that he also had a golden girdle on, right? I'm gonna read it for 14. His hair was white like wool, as white as snow, right? And who on this face of the earth today that you see has woolly hair? If you ain't know, this is woolly hair, bro. This is woolly hair, but Yahweh Shai was white, right? His hair was white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes like a flame of fire. His eyes was a flame of fire, they were red, because he drank wine, because when the so-called black man drinks wine, his eyes turn red, right? His feet, verse 15, his feet were like fine brass, as if refined in a furnace, and his voice had the sound of many waters, right? He said that his feet were like a fine brass, right? Brass is like the color of a penny. It's like brown, you know what I'm saying? And then it said as if it were refined in a furnace, right? If you throw something in a furnace and burn it, it's gonna come out darker, right? So that's, Yahweh Shai, his skin color, right? Because your feet is the same color as the rest of your body, you know what I'm saying? So Yahweh Shai was a dark-skinned man, and it said his voice was as the sound of many waters, which means he was a loud man. He ain't had that, yes, and he wasn't talking like that. He wasn't talking like like a damn fag, you know what I'm saying? Like they put in these movies or whatever, or like how people imagine. Yahweh Shai, he was a very blunt man, and he was pretty loud, you know what I'm saying? There's a scripture, describing his voice as the sound of a multitude. But like when you go to a stadium, it's pretty loud. You can't even hear. You talking to your homie, you like, what? You got to keep asking him what he's saying, like, what? That's how his voice was. He was pretty loud because he was speaking to the people from the sea or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. Right? So Yahweh Shai was a pretty loud man. You can see that in the trait of the tribes. You know what I'm saying? The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, predominantly so-called Negroes. We're pretty loud. Right? All right, from here, let's go to Luke. Because a lot of people thinking that Yahweh Shai gonna come back and just hug him and shit, right? When the scripture tells you completely different. A lot of Christians, I don't know why even Christians need to teach that shit. They tell you that Yahweh Shai coming back to, to just bring peace and shit. But that's not even the case. No scripture says that. There's many scriptures in here that tell you that Yahweh Shai's coming back to send destruction. So I can bear with me. Alright, this is Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. And I came to send fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled, right? So Yahweh, because this is written in red, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. And he said that he's coming to send fire on the earth. And how I wish it were already kindled, right? It's already going to be already kindled, which means the earth's already going to be on fire because of the different commotions and shit that are popping off right now. The different, you know what I'm saying, wildfires, all that, man. That's why the earth is going to be on fire already. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how distressed I am till it is accomplished. Do you suppose that I come to give peace on earth? Right, so Yahweh Shai asked you, like, do you think I'm going to come to send peace on earth? I tell you, not at all, but rather division. So Yahweh Shai isn't coming to send peace on earth, he's coming to send division, or bring division. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to come to save his elect. You know what I'm saying? And hey, let the destruction rip on this up. Alright, from here, let's go to Matthew, the 10th chapter. So I can bear with me. Alright, this is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. Do not think that I come to send peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. So Yahweh Shai said he's not coming to send peace on earth, he's coming to bring a sword. And the sword is an instrument for destruction. You know what I'm saying? The sword, use that to, you know, chop off limbs and your head and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what a sword is used for. A sword can be anything. You know what I'm saying? It can be a pencil or anything, but you know what I'm saying? That's what Yahweh Shai is bringing. He's bringing destruction. You know, the scripture tells you he's not bringing peace, but a sword. Right? And he said that plain and clear, and that was written in red. Right? And from here, let's go to Isaiah, the 66th chapter. Yeah, Yahweh Shai bringing death and destruction, a whole lot of it too, to this place. So like, shit, keep ripping. Alright, this is Isaiah 66, and I'm going to start at 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword the Lord will judge all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So like I was saying, the Lord going to come back to send, to bring a whole lot of, you know what I'm saying, death and destruction to this place. But he's going to come back with thousands and thousands of chariots in the sky, along with his big ass chariot. It's gonna be a pretty big chariot, because this is scripture talking about how it was big as a mountain. You know, this is gonna be a big chariot, and everybody gonna see him. You know what I'm saying? That's how big the chariot gonna be, if everybody gonna see him, right? But I'm gonna read this over again. Salaki, down. All right. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword the Lord will judge all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many, right? So Yahweh Shai gonna come back to bring up, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of destruction to this place. He's gonna kill a whole lot of people by the way of them, you know what I'm saying, them chariots, you know what I'm saying, shooting out laser beams, you know what I'm saying. He probably gonna come down here and put the work in too, with a sword or whatever, man, with the spiritual powers. So Yahweh Shai gonna come back to, hey man, slay a whole lot of people, man. A whole lot of you Edomites. Shit, you other heathens as well. All right, and from here, let's go to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 63, I'm sorry, 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and from the peoples no one was with me, for I have trodden them in my anger, and trampled them in my fury. I'm gonna read that over again. I have trodden the winepress alone, and from the peoples no one was with me, for I have trodden them in my anger, and trampled them in my fury. Their blood is sprinkled upon my garments, and I have stained all my robes, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. Right, so Yahweh Shai, that's how much killing he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like like a wine press or whatever, all the grapes and shit. You know what I'm saying? All the blood from the, you know what I'm saying, or the juice, so to speak, from the grapes. That's a whole lot of blood from the grace, man. That's how much blood is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That Yahushua is gonna cause to be in America or wherever he's gonna send the destruction to, predominantly here in America. But Yahushua is gonna sprinkle, you know what I'm saying, blood on his garments, meaning he's gonna come down and kill a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? That's like he's gonna stain his robes. Right? Vengeance, the day of vengeance is in his heart. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua can't wait to come down and bring that destruction, you know what I'm saying? It was literally about 3 days ago for him, because in the spiritual world, you know what I'm saying, time is different, you know? The scripture tells you that 1,000 years, you know what I'm saying, to the Most High is a day. You know what I'm saying? So it was literally 3 days ago, you know what I'm saying, that Yahushua got crucified, you know, persecuted. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think he gonna be mad? You know what I'm saying? He's still mad. Because there be times where little shit out here will happen to me or whatever, and I still be mad about it a few days after. You know what I'm saying? So how much more Yahushua? Hey, that's just what it's gonna be. Alright, from here let's go to Revelation chapter 19. Slug, I apologize, man. Alright, this is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 13. He was clothed with a robe. So like I'm gonna start at 11. Now I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he who sat on him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he judges and makes war, right? And the one that is called Faithful and True is Yahushua Mashiach, the Son of Man. You know what I'm saying? Our big brother, right? And he's gonna come back, and scripture say he judges and makes war, so he's gonna come back and make war. And there's a scripture I'm gonna read on down as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keep reading. His eyes were like a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Right? On his head was many crowns, because it's gonna come back and take all these nations, right? These kings out of rulership. You know what I'm saying? Consider that destruction. He had a name written that no one knew except himself. He was clothed with a robe down. He was clothed with a robe dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. Right? So Yahushua come back to do a whole lot of killing, man. For your garments to look like it's dipped in blood or whatever, hey, you got to do a whole lot of killing. You feel me? Right? And from here, there's another scripture I'm going to bring out real quick. This one right here. Right? Revelation chapter 19 and 19. And I saw the beasts, the kings of earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army. Right? And in the previous scripture that we just read, who was the one that sat on that horse? Yahushua. He was the one that's going to come back, that's sitting on that horse, talking about that chariot. Right? And the scripture says that these nations are going to gather together, you know what I'm saying, after America's destroyed, the rest of these nations are going to gather together and make war against, you know what I'm saying, Yahushua and his angels. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his army, the angels. Right? And that's why, you know what I'm saying, these people are quick to, you know what I'm saying, tell your little ones, you know what I'm saying, to join the Air Force and the military and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're preparing for that war against Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to, you know what I'm saying, be utterly destroyed. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get their ass tore up. You know what I'm saying? If one chariot alone can destroy the earth, how much more thousands of them, tens of thousands of chariots? You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a whole lot of destruction from them. Right? And from here, let's go to Revelation chapter 6. Alright, this is Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at 12. I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood. Right? It's that final blood moon. But the stars of heaven fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. And those stars, I'm talking about them ICBM nuclear missiles. Because when John the Revelator received this vision, he didn't know what the hell a nuclear missile was. You know what I'm saying? All he seen was that glare from that missile when it shot off, or when it's finna come down and, you know what I'm saying, blow up. Because it actually looks like a star, because that glare from the fire that's on that missile. You know what I'm saying? That's why it looks like a star. You know what I'm saying? That's why John the Revelator wrote that down. You know what I'm saying? That's a star. Right? And that mighty wind, if you see it, like if you look it up on YouTube or something, you see how like when a nuclear missile explodes, that little blast, whatever that leaves off, that wind, that's that mighty wind that it's talking about. It's gonna be multiple though, right? Then the sky receded as a scroll when it is rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place, right? And when it says the sky receded as a scroll when it is rolled up, it's talking about the mushroom clouds, right? That the nuclear missiles leave behind. And every mountain and island was moved out of its place. And when it says every mountain and island was moved out of its place, it's representing these smaller and bigger kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's talking about. Right? And the kings of earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave and free man hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks and the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, follow us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, right? And the one who sits on the throne is Yahweh, and the Lamb is Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? He's that Lamb. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back to send a whole lot of wrath, right? Or to bring a whole lot of wrath, right? But these people, you know what I'm saying, these elites and shit, they're gonna be trying to hide in these different bunkers, doomsday bunkers, I guess you could say, hide in these different caves and shit like that. But whenever the elect gets beamed back up or gets beamed up into the church and come back down into the wilderness, we're gonna go and, you know what I'm saying, take them out of them bunkers and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring that out as well. All right. But I'm gonna get this real quick. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. No matter of fact, let me get this. So I can talk. I'm gonna get this first.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Not much.
I don't know. He could be a Jake. I don't know. Could be Edomite too. Hell, who knows, man? I ain't gonna judge him. Scripture tells us not to judge the appearance, man, because he could be a Jake. You know what I'm saying? He could be a Jake. Just looks like a Gentile. You know what I'm saying? Because our people mingle among the other heathen nations. If he is a Jake, man, yeah, sure. Lord willing, he has mercy for the Lord. This is Psalms 149, 135, right? Because these different people are gonna be, or these different elites and shit are gonna be trying to hide from, you know what I'm saying, the wrath of Yahweh Shai. But I got a scripture to back that up, though. Right, this Psalms chapter 149. I'm gonna start at 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory, and the saints are the Israelites, pursuing the Psalms 55 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Let them sing aloud on their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance on the nations and punishments on the people, to bind their kings with chains and the nobles with fetters of iron, to execute on them the written judgment. This honor have all his saints, praise the Lord. Right? So when the elect gets beamed back down into the wilderness, you know what I'm saying, when they get beamed up from, you know what I'm saying, the destruction of this place, we're going to be given a two-edged sword, right? Like I was saying, the two-edged sword is an instrument of destruction. You know what I'm saying? Use a two-edged sword, take off limbs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing killing. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. And Lord willing, the rest of Akimar too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss out on that shit. Because all the stuff that these heathen nations, they didn't went overboard. Predominantly the so-called white man. They done did too much shit to us. You know what I'm saying? They still are. So Lord willing, I pray, man, that I'm part of that, you know what I'm saying, elect number, man, so I can, you know what I'm saying, tee up on their ass. But, you know what I'm saying, but we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, these different elites and shit that are hiding in these doomsday bunkers, they're gonna be the first ones thrown into slavery. That's just what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? We read in the previous chapter, in Revelation chapter 6, that they were gonna be trying to hide and shit. but we're gonna have them spiritual powers where we'll have some type of door that you can't break off. But since we got spiritual power, we're gonna be able to yank that shit right off. We're gonna be able to throw that shit. You know what I'm saying? Take them, kill them, whatever, and throw them into slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna be doing. Shit, Lord willing, part of that number, right? But from here, I'm gonna go to Revelation chapter 13. From here. All right, this is Revelation chapter 13. I'm gonna start at 9. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. Right? Everybody has ears, but it's talking about a spiritual ear. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Right? So the so-called white man led millions and millions and hundreds of millions of us, the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, into captivity. So they have to go into captivity. You know what I'm saying? That's their punishment. That's their lot now. You know what I'm saying? He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword, right? They done killed you know what I'm saying, over 100 million of us, you know what I'm saying, with the sword. You know, they used to hang our women upside down, cut the babies out, throw them against the stones and shit, feed the children to alligator bait, all that, man. You know, kill even shit. Millions of us were dying before we even reached the docks of America. You know what I'm saying? So the so-called white man got to pay for that, just like we're paying for our judgment. Shit, they got to pay for that. Yeah, they got to pay for their for what they did, shit, because we paying for what we did. All right, here is the patience and the faith of the saints, right? And the saints, like I said, brother, Israelites pursuing Psalm 55, right? And we're patiently waiting for that. You know what I'm saying? We're patiently waiting to get our kingdom, to live in righteousness. This kingdom wicked as fuck. See faggots everywhere. And man, it's just wicked, man. It is shit. But you know, that's what we're patiently waiting to get that reward. All right, from here, let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. That nigga look good. That's cool. White ass. All right, this Isaiah. That was gonna cut his ass from the scriptures, but. Lucky if I'm taking them in. It's kind of cold and my hands are dry and shit. It's kind of like hard to grip the paper. Alright, this is Isaiah chapter 14. I'm going to start at 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will still choose Israel and settle them in their own land, right? And we're not in our own land right now. Right? We're in the land of the heathen, which is technically, it's not, you know what I'm saying? But we're in the captivity of the heathen. Right? Because America, this isn't their, you know what I'm saying, their land. They just stole this shit. Right, but our land, our original land is Israel, you know, Jerusalem. Right, the strangers will be joined with them, and they will cling to the house of Israel. And who are the strangers? The strangers are these heathen nations, right? In the sense that they will cleave to the house of Jacob, right? Meaning, you know what I'm saying, we're going to bring them to their place. Then people will take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel will possess them for servants and handmaids. And the land of the Lord, right? And the land of the Lord is Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's our, you know what I'm saying? That's our land right there, man. But we're gonna possess them as servants and handmaids. So I'm saying they're gonna be captives. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be our slaves and shit. They would take them captive, whose captives they were, and rule over their oppressors, right? We're gonna rule over our oppressors. Our oppressors, who you see today, is the so-called white men. These other heathen nations is what predominantly the so-called white men, though. But we're going to rule over all these heathen nations, you know what I'm saying? Because we're originally kings on the earth. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be ruling over these motherfuckers, man. But shit, we disobeyed the Lord, so the Lord proved the point, man. Hey, he brought us down to a lower state. You know what I'm saying? Now we serving our fucking, our slaves, technically, pretty much, man. All right? And let's go to verse 21 from here. Isaiah 14 to 21. Prepare slaughter for his children because of the iniquity of their fathers, lest they rise up and possess the land and fill the face of the world with cities, right? You know what I'm saying? So the Lord's preparing slaughter, you know what I'm saying, for these heathen nations, predominantly the so-called white man, for these Edomites. A lot of people like to be like, so you telling me I gotta pay for what my ancestors did? Yeah, you do, because pretty much, bro, they're the they're their forefathers reincarnated back on the earth today. You know what I'm saying? They're just in different bodies, right? So they basically, the slave masters, or the ones who took us into captivity back then, are pretty much here on the earth today. Because spirits are reincarnated, you know what I'm saying, every like third or fourth generation, if I'm not mistaken. Alright? And I got another scripture to back it up, because, yeah, you do got to pay for what your forefathers did, because, hey, shit, we doing it. We paying for what our forefathers did. Alright, let's go to Job 27 and 13. This is Job 27 and 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of his oppressors received from the Almighty. Right now, oppressors are, you know what I'm saying, so-called white men, heathen nation. If his children are multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Right. So the more and more, you know what I'm saying, babies that these Edomites keep having, hey, the more and more killing we're gonna be able to do. The more and more, you know what I'm saying, the more and more destruction they're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, with the sword, right? So from here, let's go to Psalms 137. Psalms 137, I'm going to start at 7. Remember, O Lord, against the sons of Edom, talking about the so-called white people, the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it to its very foundation. O daughter of Babylon, America's the daughter of Babylon. America is known as many things in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Spiritually, Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt as well. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. Happy the one who repays you as you have served us. Right, so we're going to repay so-called white race for we're gonna repay them for what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? They you know, killed us, enslaved us, all this other shit, man. So that's what's gonna happen to them. But it's gonna happen 2 times harder though. Happy the one who takes and dashes your little ones against the rock, right? Because back then during slavery, they would cut our women stomach open to test, you know what I'm saying, how sharp their swords were or knives were. Right, they'll take the babies out and dash them against the rocks, right? And that's exactly what we're gonna do to them. You know what I'm saying? Lou Orleans part of that number. You know, but we're gonna take their kids and shit, and we're gonna slam them against the rocks. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? With no mercy, shit. And we're gonna enjoy it as well. I know some brothers got weak stomachs, but hey, we'll get them spiritual bodies. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're not gonna give a fuck. You gonna be ready to do it. Alright, and from here, let's go to Malachi chapter 4, right? Because we're finna get into how this wicked ass kingdom is gonna, you know what I'm saying, receive its destruction. Alright? Here it is. Alright, this is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, and all the proud, yes, all who do wickedly, will be stubble, and the day which is coming shall burn them up, says the Lord of hosts. Right, so that day is coming that it's going to burn as an oven. By the way, them, you know, send them ICBM nuclear missiles. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're going to be. Then, if I'm not mistaken, they're like 1,000,000 degrees or some shit like that. Right? Yeah, man, that's why that day is going to burn as an oven. Hey, the missiles. All right, I got some more scriptures to back it up as well. All right, let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10. I bring these scriptures out multiple times, but I mean, with this particular topic, you got to bring them out. Shit. All right, this is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, right? He's going to come when we least expect it, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because you least expect it when somebody's going to kick in your door. In which the heavens will pass away with a great noise, talking about the explosion from the missiles, right? And the elements will melt with fervent heat, both the earth and the works that are in it will be burned up, right? You know what I'm saying? And then, Lord, that day's going to burn us nothing, man. Going to melt the elements and shit, you know what I'm saying? Oxygen and shit going to melt, or oxygen is going to, you know what I'm saying? I guess you would say melt, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? That's how hot the missiles are going to be, man. Because it's different. The missiles are a different type of fire than the fire you start outside at a camp or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's concentrated fire, man. It's some hot shit, man. All right? Then let's go to the Apocrypha. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, we're going to start at 12. Foundations thereof, the sea arises with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, and his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, right? And that bow is talking about, you know what I'm saying, what the missiles are, you know what I'm saying, set in to be shot off. You know what I'm saying? That's what that bow is. That's what's going to be shooting the missiles off. And the missiles are personified as arrows as well, because back then, when the prophet Ezra was receiving this vision, he didn't know what a missile was. You know what I'm saying? It just looked like a, you know what I'm saying, arrow to them, because they really do kind of resemble an arrow. You know what I'm saying? Got that sharp point to them. You know what I'm saying? At the bottom, they got that type of, you know what I'm saying, little shit that the arrow has on them. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, y'all getting what I'm saying, right? For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. Right, so them arrows, or them nuclear missiles, hey man, shit, they're not gonna miss, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna hit their target, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, because those angels are gonna be guiding those missiles to hit their target, you know what I'm saying? To land on their destination, you know? And they shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, right? That's how we know that this isn't talking about literal arrows, bro, because it's impossible